both of your lips. So it's really about the height rather than the distance.
Hello?
There we go.
I just wanted to close this out with a little bit of the history of this memorial vigil, homeless vigil day. Back in the days of the Homeless Union and throughout history since that time, including today and this weekend and this week, homeless vigils have historically been held by nonprofits and the nonprofit industrial complex that gets paid to perpetuate homelessness and what we lovingly call the poverty pimps of this country. They hold these vigils in shelters, in nonprofits, at places like this beautiful park with the aggressive architecture where nobody can sleep. But first, they push out everybody who is unhoused and make sure that they're not welcome, even if it is their shelter. They are left for the day, and they hold these vigils with photo ops, and they bring in mayors and all these other people that come in and talk about all the wonderful things they are doing for the homeless communities and the homeless people in their communities. And the Homeless Union back in the day said, yeah, we're going to memorialize and we're going to honor our people in the way that we see would truly honor, but also weaponize their deaths because they are dying and freezing. We are out here right now feeling the cold. Like, it gets worse. The nighttime, like I've always said, if you don't, I grew up in DC, which is not north, right? It's not as cold as it is here, but still, February in DC, it's fucking cold. And if you have not felt cold like that and don't know when you're going to get out of cold like that, it can drive you absolutely insane. And this is something that is not discussed, right? We were organizing in Chicago. If you've ever been to Chicago, there's a wind in Chicago called the Hawk. People literally freeze to the chairs they are forced to sit in, right? This is what needs to be discussed in these vigils, and it's not. People die on the streets from hunger, healthcare issues, police brutality, all of these things that are going on in our country, and we have to discuss them. We also have to honor them. The encampments in California right now, we talk about California because it is nationally on the radar of our president and their new inter-county council of some bullshit international, whatever it is, homeless county thing. Their eyes are on California because some of the oldest and biggest homeless encampments are in California, and they're breaking them down every day, and hundreds of people are getting displaced. They're losing everything. And Desiree, Quintera, and others are getting pushed out and going into very quickly made encampments. This is happening across the country. But they're coming up just like you heard about in Lancaster. They're coming up with excuse after excuse after excuse of why this is justified. And what happened in this area with Desiree was they were fighting for the encampment not to be closed down. And they kept coming up with the reasons why it should be, even though they addressed all those reasons. And they went into a forest area and quickly set up camp. And she was out walking around, making sure people were okay. That's what she did. And the high winds in California came, and a tree fell and literally killed her and injured another person. So the decisions that are being made by the exact people that are holding these vigils in towns are resulting in people who are already displaced to be in these encampments, then are getting displaced again, are dying. And we're not talking about why. And that's the history of these vigils and these memorials. So in every community across the country where unions are rising, including Lancaster, people are holding these today. Some held them yesterday, but today, because this is the first day of winter and the longest night of the year. So that is a very powerful statement that people are on the street in growing numbers and people will die. We're going into winter, and we are going to have more and more and more deaths, and something has to be done about that. So I ask that we bow our heads and have a moment of silence. I want to thank the Lancaster Homeless Union for having me here today. And I want to say that from the mission of the National Union of the Homeless, there's 2 words that stand out to me, and that's revolutionary perseverance. We have to have revolutionary perseverance. We have to come together, we have to stick together, and you have to know that you are not alone, that we are with you on the National Council, and that we're here anytime. And revolutionary perseverance. And if you can say with me, you only get what you're organized to take.
What you're organized to take.
By the way, Kristin, don't tempt me, because if I gotta call in people from across the nation to save St. Joseph's, I might be tempted to do that.
So just to make that official, Tammy said she's going to call us in to save the hospital, and I promise you that the union is behind you. You know that. All right. Thank you very much.